Hi. I think we're good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Joe's Pub. Thank you so much for being here. Friends, old friends, new friends, moms, thank you so much for being here tonight. It is my privilege to be here at the piano with this person that we love so very much, direct from London, England, from seat 43B, right next to the bathroom in the middle seat, somehow on the only transoceanic flight that Spirit Airlines flies. Please welcome Tori Scott.
Looks delicious. Turn on the old Victrola, gonna dance the night away. You're gonna see a lot of my ass tonight. Love just don't come easy. I'll try to turn, though it seldom does. Hi, Mom. When you find the perfect love, let it fill you up. Nate Buccieri on piano.
Thank you, I love you.
Oh, we have traveled the world together, so of course I had to drag him below 14th Street. This is so exciting. I want you to all just sit back, relax, leave all your troubles at the door, because tonight is not about your problems. It's about mine. Dim all the lights, sweet honey. Tonight it's you and me. Love just don't come easy. This you'll know I understand. I wanna be your woman if you'll be my man. Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. Still enough time to figure out how to chase my blues away. It's the light of day that shows me how. When the night falls, my lonely heart calls. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna be like with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. Photos and videos of me this evening and tag me on Instagram at It's Tori Scott, except for this row right here. I'm so sorry. This is a prohibited video and photo section. You know, it's just not always great when it's like, oh, so many chins. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want. It's still a free country. Well, for at least 3 more days. Hey, look me over. Tell me, do you like what you see? Hey, I ain't got no money, but honey, I'm rich on personality. Hey, check it all out. Baby, I know what it's all about. Before the night is through, you will see my point of view. Even if I have to scream and shout, baby, I'm a you so much. I'm so overwhelmed right now. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, it's a beautiful homecoming, even though I am just visiting. I'm so thrilled you're here tonight. Thank you so much. I also want to say hi to everyone who's watching the live stream tonight from the comfort of their living room or bedroom or toilet. It doesn't matter. Thank you for watching. And I wasn't kidding. My mom really is here. Hi, Mom.
Yay!
I am really glad you're here, but I am so sorry about the stories that you are going to hear tonight. This is so overwhelming. It's so amazing to be back at this venue and seeing so many beautiful, familiar faces. In case you haven't been following me on Instagram or know my every move, I left New York towards the end of 2021. And listen, I haven't been back to New York or even in the United States in 2 years. Isn't that crazy? I know, it's so exciting. So now that I'm here, I just have a quick question. Is everyone okay? Maybe blink twice if you need help getting out. Not that I can help you, after the amount I paid for an egg and cheese this morning, I'm not sure I can even afford to get out of here. But when I left New York, I just felt like I had given New York all I had to give. We had a good run. Well, I don't know if it was a good run. It was a run. I gave New York my money and my youth and my dignity, and I thought, okay, where else can I move where I don't have to drive and I'm surrounded by functioning alcoholics like myself? So they let me into London. It's been great, it's been, well, I'm not gonna lie, it has been full of extreme highs and extreme lows in 3 short years. My time in London started when I flew into Heathrow and I forgot to turn on my international plan and my phone wouldn't connect to the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't take an Uber from all the way West London Heathrow to all the way East London where my sublet was. So instead I had to take a black cab. Yeah, so some of you might know, but those of you that don't understand why that is so traumatic, think about being in an Uber XL for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then add congestion pricing, and then double that. So I'm in a very expensive cab, heading to my sublet, and it's the same day that the oil protesters are laying in the streets in London blocking traffic. And good for them. But my cab driver was listening to a very right-wing radio station where people were calling in saying that we should just run them over, which was quite shocking until I saw the price increase on the meter, and I thought, well, getting run over sounds pretty great right now. It was such a lovely welcome to a new country. I finally got to my sublet 200 pounds poorer, with 3 oversized bags, 2 maxed out credit cards, and 1 high maintenance cat. She snores, what can I say? And listen, it was a bit of a rough start. I had trouble getting an agent, but once I did, I got really lucky, and I got to do a tour of the Cher show all the way through the UK. Thank you. And then in March in 2023, the Cher show closed, and I didn't have a job lined up. And I didn't have any kind of network like I did over here. I didn't have a rental history or credit history. I had no place to live. I sold my soul temping as a receptionist in an insurance company while I subletted a room every couple of months, and in between that, just crashed on friends' couches. It was a really low point, I think, when I performed my show at Crazy Coq's, a similar venue to Joe's Pub, and we went to the pub across the street afterwards, and my bag got stolen. Yeah, and it had pretty much everything because I was going to sleep at a friend's house, and it had all of my makeup, and it had my jewelry and the heels I wore that night, which I loved, and it had my laptop. And I know that it's just stuff and it can all be replaced, but when you don't have a home or your own couch to cry on in such an incident, or even a cat to comfort you, my cat is still alive. She was just living with a friend outside of London while I was on tour. When you don't have those comforts, you feel really alone. I felt so alone. And I sat down on the curb and I cried and I thought, I've made a huge mistake. And even if I wanted to move back home, I couldn't afford it. And a friend sat down next to me and he handed me a joint, which was so kind of him. But weed is still illegal in the UK, so I hesitated at first, and then I thought, oh my God, if I get deported, will they pay for my flight home? But I didn't need it. I didn't need it because luckily 3 weeks later and right before my 4th mental breakdown of 2023, I booked another job, and I just made my London debut in the Olivier-nominated Guys and Dolls. Thank you. It was a really fun ride. I'm actually unemployed again because the show closed a couple weeks ago. Not from anything I did. And I don't have a job lined up because I can't go back to that insurance company because of something I did. But I do think Mom, I'm actually gonna be okay, I promise. I now have my own flat with a garden, and I have furniture, and I got my cat back. And yes, I know, my sweet high maintenance cat. And I do, however, still have 2 maxed out credit cards because, equity minimum in the UK is very low. And I pay taxes in 2 countries, and honestly, I think credit scores are a scam. So there you have it. My point in saying all this is that it has been a lot of ups and downs, and it's taken me a long time to feel settled. But just this past year, I finally started to feel like London was my home, which also made me really sad about New York. And when I was preparing to come here, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel, you know? All the history behind it, all the heartbreaks, and all the people I love and miss. And then I was flying into JFK, and I saw the skyline, and I started to feel like that 13-year-old girl when she first came to New York. I know it's so cheesy, but maybe I'm romanticizing it. I just feel like people actually came here with dreams, which is hilarious, or thinking there's endless possibilities. Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking for an excuse to sing this song. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York. Oh, that's the park bench I used to cry on. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray and step around the heart of it. New York, New York. Oh, that's the apartment that gave me bed bugs. I wanna wake up in the city that doesn't sleep, and it had a mice infestation, to find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. Oh, that's the apartment where I looked out my bedroom window and saw a man shit behind a dumpster. Why'd I ever leave? My little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. Sorry, can I actually shop in this CVS, or is everything just on display behind a locked glass? New York, New York. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I had to tip if I poured my own coffee. I wanna wake up in the city that doesn't sleep. What do you mean El Centro's closed? To find I'm king of the hill, top of the list, cream of the crop, and number one. I'm sorry, you want $25 for a chicken Caesar salad? Are the croutons made of gold? My little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. Come on. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, let me tell you something. The only person I tip in London is the woman that pulls the hair out of my vagina. And yes, I know that is not anatomically correct, but for the sake of the joke, it sounds better than vulva, okay? Things have really changed around here. There were a lot of reasons why I wanted to leave the US, you know? Capitalism and guns and James Corden on late night TV. Turns out he had the same idea. He's back over across the pond too. Guess he couldn't get work here either. Oh, really? Are we James Corden fans? But the biggest reason I wanted to leave the US is because I just wanted to see a doctor without the fear of going bankrupt. I did. You know, so in London, in the UK, they have the National Health Service, the NHS, which was created on the basis that everyone is equal and everyone should have the right to see a doctor without exchanging money. And it is struggling because the conservative government destroyed it over the years, but it's hanging on and it's wonderful and it has relieved so much stress in my life, I can't even tell you. It is really funny, though, to tell all my British friends stories about, like, when I was sick or injured and should have seen a doctor but couldn't. Like, when I was in a motorcycle accident and I had to peel myself off the floor and hobble to my mom's car because I couldn't afford a trip to the ambulance and a hospital visit. Or the time that I went to my friend's hip-hop class at Broadway Dance Center. I twisted my ankle, and it was so swollen. I had it elevated and was icing it. I didn't have insurance at all, and I just kept Googling images of a broken ankle to convince myself I was okay. And I don't think I was, because to this day, whenever I wear heels, I can't feel my toes on my left foot. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. No insurance plan and no time to talk. Music loud and women worn. I've been kicked around since I was born, but now it's all right. It's okay. You can see another day. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on a man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive, staying alive. Ow, 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 staying alive, staying alive. Ow, 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 staying alive. What we lack in healthcare over here, though, we make up for in the strength of our strong-ass pills. Our over-the-counter medication is incredible, and I didn't know it until I moved. I got a cold. I went into a pharmacy in London called Boots. I got myself some Sudafed, and I was shocked that nobody bothered to, like, scan my ID until I took the Sudafed, and I could still feel my face. It was like candy. Nothing was happening because in the UK, their medicine isn't strong enough to make crystal meth, but that's how I want my cold meds. Meth strong. Oh, well, I get low and I get high, and if I can't get either, I'm gonna try. Got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man, and I just can't lose. You know, it's all right. It's okay. We can see another day. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on a man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a lover, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive. Ha, 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 staying alive. I spent most of my adult life in the US without health insurance, so I had to be really clever when it came to, you know, living. And thankfully, I have a gift, and that gift is entertaining gay men all over the world. Yeah. On resorts, beach towns, cruises. I have done so many gay cruises, especially with Nate. I did a gay cruise once with 5,000 gay men. Yeah, just me singing show tunes, surrounded by 5,000 gay men in their Speedos. And let me tell you something, I love gay men. I think everyone on that ship agreed, though, that was too many. My favorite place that these cruises would take us, though, would be to Mexico. I love Mexico. I love the people and the culture and the food, and I love the fact that there are farmacias on every corner. That's Spanish for pharmacy. This particular cruise, we went to Puerto Vallarta, which is wonderful, yes. And of course, my first stop off the ship was one of the pharmacies. Now, I am not a pill popper. I don't do well with pills. I prefer alcohol, but my sister's a nurse, so we were really strategic about the kind of pills I needed to stock up on. So while all of the gay men on the ship were getting the fun pills, I was in the corner asking about different antibiotics, because you never know when a UTI will come a-knocking. Viva la Mexico! Como la flor con tanto amor me diste tú, sin marichita me marchó y yo sé perder, pero como me duele, ay, como me duele. Yo sé que tienes nuevo amor. Does anyone speak Spanish? A ver, algo en más te la dará. I definitely don't. Encontraste felicidad. No idea what I'm saying. Algo en más te la dará. I just love Selena. Como la flor con tanto amor me diste tú, se marchita me marchó. Yo sé perder, pero ay, como me duele, ay, como me duele. Last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I'd never gone. I heard the song, young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seemed like yesterday, not far away. Tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the samba played, the sun would set so high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes with your Spanish lullabies. My favorite thing about a gay cruise is that every night there's a different theme party, and it doesn't matter what the theme is, a gay man will always incorporate a harness into the costume. This particular evening, the theme was animal instincts, and whatever just popped into your head right now, yes. I've seen a lot on these cruises. I promise you nothing can faze me. I once handed out poppers at an orgy, but I was quite shocked to suddenly see this 7 feet tall being dressed as Catwoman crawl over to me and then purr in my ear. Hey doll, good show tonight. Now open your mouth and I'll give you a Mexican Adderall. If you don't know, Adderall is used to treat people with ADHD. So if someone has ADHD, they take Adderall and suddenly they're able to focus on their day and get through their daily tasks and be really efficient, okay? If you take Adderall and you don't have ADHD, you might find yourself, I don't know, the top deck of a cruise ship during a rave with laser lights pouring out onto the Pacific Ocean, dancing next to a man wearing nothing but a penis cage. I was wearing his harness. control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do that conga beat. You know those moments in life when you're on a cocktail of Adderall, ecstasy, and vodka with an extreme exposure to strobe lighting, and you're wondering, how did I get here? But not in a fun way, in a, is this how I die way? Everybody gather round now. Let your body feel the beat. It's so hot suddenly. Don't you worry if you can't dance. Just let the music move your feet. Come, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you're trying to do that conga beat. I was pulled back from the brink of a panic attack by a beautiful bear who gave me a sleeping pill that I tucked into my bra all night while I danced. And then on the way back to my cabin, I just took the pill out, swallowed it, and then panic set in. I started to think about Judy Garland. She'd spent her whole life doing uppers and downers until it finally killed her, and I needed to know the exact cocktail that did it. But when I got back to my cabin, I couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi to Google it because you can never connect to a Wi-Fi on a cruise ship. So instead, I just laid down, closed my eyes, and said, well, she died as she lived. Como la flor, con todo amor, me diste tú. Se marchita, me marchó y yo sé perder, pero ay, como me duele, ay, como me You know, before I moved to London, I had visited there several times. So prior to moving, I had a bit of a fantasy about what my life was going to look like when I moved there, which is so embarrassing now. It's like when you move to New York and you think it's going to be like Friends or Sex and the City. I thought I'd move to London, and in no time, I would live in a townhouse in Notting Hill after marrying a cute British man who wore tortoiseshell glasses and worked in a bookstore. But instead, I live in a neighborhood called Catford, which according to the residents of Notting Hill, is that really London? I go grocery shopping after 6 in the evening because that's when they put reduced price stickers on all of the meal deals and prepared meals. And I pretend to know what the point of a royal family is. I'm kidding. I never pretend that. They're fucking ridiculous. The culture shock hit me fast and hard, a combination I typically enjoy. I just thought it would be so much easier to assimilate, but in all honesty, it wasn't, because I am an immigrant there, so of course it's gonna take a while to adjust. But I'm the kind of immigrant everyone's okay with. I wonder why. Next time I hear the term anti-immigration, I'm gonna challenge them to tell me what they really mean, because no one's ever asked me to go back to where I came from. Except a couple guys I dated. And I don't think they meant America. No, it was hard to assimilate. I thought it would be easy because we all speak English, but we don't. Just like a round of applause. How many of you are from the UK or have lived in the UK? Yeah, oh, great, hello. And how many of you have vacationed in the UK? Great. Now, how many of you have only ever seen Notting Hill? All right, let me just explain something. So in England, they do speak something that is technically called English. But according to what we speak, it is a very different language. One that I am very fluent in now. I no longer say trash can. Yeah, I say bin, and I can use it in many different ways. Traditionally, I could say, oh, just throw it in the bin. Or if someone's really pissed me off, I can say, get in the fucking bin. It's great. It's thrilling. I love it. I'm fluent. I decided to take on a mantra when I got there: embrace, don't resist. And I have embraced a lot. And it's helped. I've embraced putting a new kind of sauce on my eggs. It's called brown sauce. Nobody knows what it is. It's just brown. The people from the UK, do you know what brown sauce is? Oh, really? You know what it is? It's brown. I can't hear you, whatever. It's not important. And I also don't believe you. Okay. I've also embraced the fact that most flats in the UK will only have washing machines. So 10 months out of the year, it's going to take 3 to 5 business days for my clothes to actually dry. And I have embraced that all of the shower doors connected to bathtubs in the UK will never be long enough to actually keep water inside the tub. Yeah. I love it there, though. I've really, taken on the British culture. I've taken a deep dive into understanding British people, and my findings are in no way offensive or stereotypical. British people are very nostalgic. They love nostalgia. It's actually really precious. I think it's the reason that movie musicals do so well in the West End, because they're so nostalgic about the movie, they don't care how bad the musical part is. They also talk about World War II all the time, like it just happened, even though most of them weren't alive when it did. And they love tradition. They love shoving massive bits of cheese down hills, and they love getting completely shit-faced in pubs older than the Constitution, which is a tradition I can get behind, let me tell you. And I love British pop culture and television. I will say, British game shows I cannot get into. The stakes are so low. If you have seen Bake Off, you probably understand the stakes are so low and they get a cake stand. I know it's precious, but with a game show, it's awful. And with Drag Race UK versus Drag Race US, in the US, they win a challenge, they get thousands of dollars in cash prizes and makeup and a magazine spread. In the UK, they win a challenge, they get a badge. They put on a badge. There's a game show that's really popular in Britain called Countdown. And it's very intellectual, it's very highbrow, and there's a language section, and each contestant chooses 12 letters, and it can be any number of consonants and vowels, and the tension builds as they're flipping the consonant and the vowel and the consonant, and then they have 60 seconds to make the longest word possible. So you have to have a vast knowledge of the English language to be on this show. And you know what you get when you win? A fucking dictionary. I swear. They give you a dictionary. You can go on Jeopardy here, win $100,000, and buy all the dictionaries you want. I mean, you're not going to. You're on the game so you can pay for your son's insulin, but still, it's high-octane viewing. And I wasn't even fair to Countdown because they don't just give you a teapot when you win. They don't, I just ruined the fucking joke. They don't just give you a dictionary, they give you a teapot as well. And not to be a cliche American making fun of how much tea British people drink, but no one prepares you for it. You're probably drinking tea back there, aren't you? I mean, they drink so much tea, and it means a lot to them. They drink tea in the morning and tea in the afternoon, and they drink tea when they're cold and when they're hot, and they drink tea when they're sad and when they're in shock because they just won the hardest game show in the UK and got a fucking dictionary. And in some places in the UK, you don't say, what do you want for dinner? You say, what do you want for tea? So tea is also a drink and a meal. It's insane. And I also didn't know, till I moved to the UK, that crumpets are real. Did anyone else not know that? Do you know what a crumpet is? Yeah, like an English muffin, it's got little holes in it. They're real. I just thought they were in nursery rhymes. I don't know, sometimes I am walking around and I feel like I have it all figured out, and other times I am lost. I can't understand what anyone is saying. I'm just an alien walking around a different planet. So imagine how brave you have to be to actually move to a place with your family in hopes for a better life when you don't understand the language, while the media and politicians are trying to blame all of their country's problems on you? Now that's fucking brave, right? It is. I mean, calm down, I'm brave too, you know. I risk my life every day I leave my flat, because I still don't know which way the traffic goes. Well, that, and because some British people get upset when I tell them I think the Royals should get in the fucking bin. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave the castle if you dare. This is a Major Tom to ground control. I'm floating in the most peculiar way. Don't the stars look very different today? For here am I floating in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still, and I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Ground control to Major Tom. Your circuit's dead. There's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? Am I sitting in a tin can, far above the moon? Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. 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 Oh, thank you. Wait, I'm gonna have a sip of this too. I'll tell you one thing, nothing will help you assimilate into a country more than dating in that country. Yeah, I've been dating. I am single. I mean, I'm always single. The longest relationship I've had at this point is the one with my cat, but that's okay though, because I actually really like being single. I thrive on it. I cherish my alone time. I hate to compromise, and I don't want to share a bed with someone for more than 2 to 3 hours, you know? But it does get lonely. It does. Like when I take out the recycling, I can't look at somebody else and go, wow, we drank so much. I'm asked a lot why I'm not married and why I don't have kids, often, but not exclusively, by Uber drivers. I'm like, have you met men? I also love the fact that there are so many Republicans who have an issue with unmarried women. Like, how dare they? Because they're intimidated by it. And there's this one Republican, his name isn't important, but I think it was either Fox News or like a podcast or something, and he said something like, unmarried women in America are lost and miserable. I've just given him a Southern accent. They're addicted to antidepressants and alcohol. They're wrecked with guilt from abortion and wandering from partner to partner. I'm on all the apps. I'm on Hinge and Bumble and Marketplace, mainly because I'm not getting any younger and I don't know how much longer my cat's gonna live. But it's so wild dating in a new country. I went a little crazy at first, like I won't lie. I had a lot of fun. But in my defense, it was really a great way to get to know a new city by waking up in a different neighborhood some mornings. On tour, I was absolutely crazy. But like, listen, touring is hard enough. But touring in a country you don't know, away from everyone you've ever known, is so lonely. And the travel is endless. The train rides are so boring. And I had a really long break in the show. So I'd sit up in my dressing room and I would just like mindlessly swipe through Hinge and Bumble. And when you are lonely and you're bored and you're swiping, that's a cocktail far more dangerous than Adderall, ecstasy, and a harness. I love myself, I want you to love me. When I feel down, I want you above me. I search myself, I want you to find me. I forget myself, I want you to remind me. I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, I don't want anybody else. Oh no, oh no, oh no. As I traveled through this great Britain, I decided to channel everything I'd learned from my gay friends who were on Grindr, and I changed the location on my apps at every big tour stop. You know, it was a way to get to know the locals, okay? And the American accent is a real kink for some people over there. And I'll tell you this, prior to moving to England, I had never been with an uncircumcised man. I know, I had a feeling I'd be good at it though, because I'm really quick and unwrapping a Slim Jim. And I was right. You're the one who makes me come running. You're the sun who makes me shine. When you're around, I'm always laughing. I wanna make you mine. I close my eyes, I see you before me. Think I would die if you were to ignore me. A fool could see just how much I adore you. Get down on my knees, I'd do anything for you. I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, I don't want anybody else. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Irishmen are a blast. Scottish men are wild, and much like American men, Englishmen need therapy. I have met some really lovely men during my time so far in the UK, but everyone has been very emotionally unavailable. And I complained to my therapist about this, and she paused and said, well, you attract what you put out. And I paused and said, yeah, bitch. That's why I'm in therapy. Turns out the phrase, yeah, bitch, doesn't really translate the same in England, so I'm looking for a new therapist. I'll tell you something else. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to dating men over there, because I have gone on a couple dates with some really posh guys by accident, and I was trying to think of the best way to explain what a posh guy is over there and how to compare it to someone over here. It's not like Posh Spice or anything, you know. It's like, it's sort of like if you, you know, the kind of guy who's like super successful because of nepotism, and all of his family went to Ivy League schools, and he grew up in, like, you know, New England, and he lived in, like, the family estate they've had for a very long time, because there's just been generation after generation after generation of wealth since, like, the American Revolutionary War or something. You know, that kind of guy who's, like, socially liberal, but he doesn't like pronouns. You know, he's in his 40s, he's divorced, he's holding on to that last bit of hair he should just shave off. And he doesn't want anything serious because he doesn't want to, like, rule out any other options, because he thinks he's a bit bigger catch than he is, because his mom always told him that. You know, that kind of guy? Anyway, I went on a date with this posh guy, and he worked in finance, but he told me that even though he worked in finance, his real passion was stand-up comedy. He was taking comedy classes, so he decided to talk to me about what comedy is. And he didn't know what I did for a living because he didn't ask. Probably wouldn't have mattered if he had, to be quite honest. He was trying jokes out on me. It was horrible. I was just looking for the quickest exit. He said, "Do you have any kids?" I said, "No. Do you?" He said, "No, none that I know of." It was horrible. Towards the end of the date, he didn't know it was the end, but towards the end of the date, he told me that his favorite comedian in England was Ricky Gervais. I know. And so I let him know what I thought. And I told him, you know, I'm not a fan of someone who is so successful and so rich, yet chooses to just punch down on the trans community in such a stupid, hackish way. I think it's really just lazy comedy. I don't like him, and I think there are better comedians out there. And you would have thought I had said horrible things about his mom. Because, you know, like when someone's mask comes off and you see him, he looked at me and he said, "Well, if you don't like the comedy in this country, perhaps you should leave." It was my first get out of our country. I was so honored. I went out with another posh guy. He was much nicer. And we went on a first and last date. And while we were laying in bed, he was explaining the rules of cricket to me, while I listed all the things in my head I may have done to deserve this. And finally, he looked at me and he said, "What are your hobbies?" My hobbies in this economy? I'm sorry. I don't know, survival? I'm too busy waiting for them to put a reduced sticker on a low-calorie microwavable sausage and mash to take up fucking crochet, Ian. My hobbies. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't even know what to do when it comes to men. I've lowered my expectations so much they can't get any lower. At this point, I'm just like, what the hell? I'm having fun. I'm going with the flow, which is why, you know, there was the young guy I let call me a MILF, or there was the shy guy who would come in his hand because he doesn't like a mess, and there was the guy who, you know, would sniff my panties and I'd let him put a sock in his mouth because I always wanted a puppy. Lay where you're laying, don't make a sound. I know they're watching all the commotion, the kitty-like play has people talking. Talking, and you, could just taste it, just taste it. If it's not forever, if it's just tonight, oh, we're still the greatest, the greatest, the greatest in the air. Your sex is on fire. Oh, yeah. Your sex is on fire. I never loved nobody fully. Always one foot on the ground. And by protecting my heart truly, I've got lost in the sounds I hear in my mind. All of these voices I hear in my mind. All of these words I hear in my mind. Oh, this music, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart. Suppose I never ever met you. Suppose we never fell in love. Suppose I never ever let you kiss me so sweet and so soft. Suppose I never ever saw you. Suppose you never ever called. Suppose I kept on singing love songs just to break my own fall, just to break my fall, just to break my fall, just to break my fall. Break my fall, break my fall. All my friends say that, of course, it's gonna get better, 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 better. I never loved nobody fully. Always one foot on the ground. And by protecting my heart truly, I got lost in the sounds I hear in my mind. All of these voices I hear in my mind. All of these words I hear in my mind. Oh, this music, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart. I hear in my mind all of these voices. I hear in my mind all of these words. I hear in my mind all of this music, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I hear in my mind all of this music, and it breaks my heart. Thank you. I am I'm a proud, childless cat lady. Anybody else? Yeah, I love it. I love it, and I love the fact that, I'm not going to say his name, but the future VP hates childless women. He said something like, we shouldn't be able to vote because we don't have a stake in the future and we lack empathy because we don't have kids. Okay, but please call us child-free, because that's how I feel. I love it. I'm sorry. I have no regrets. I have no what-ifs about not having children. And every month I get my period, I celebrate because the pull-out method is still working. Yeah. I love it. It's so funny. There's like a weird myth with like women that haven't had kids, like we really we hate children, you know, that it's just like this crazy vile thing. It's like we are not like going to an annual meeting with other witches with Angelica Houston, ripping our faces off and searching for smelly kids to turn them into mice, you know? Like, yes, kids smell, but I don't hate them. I just don't like them. I just don't like them. I have 5 nieces and nephews. I love them very much. I really do. I love them so much. I care about them so much. I want the best for them so much. Should I see them more? Probably. But why don't I? Because I don't really like them. But I love them. I love them. I do. It's also hard because I live in another country, but you know, even when I did live here, I didn't see him that much. Occasionally, I would go visit my sister. My niece and nephew are teenagers now, but when they were little, a long time ago, I would go visit. And one time, I actually agreed to babysit so my sister and her husband could go have a date and I could, like, you know, bond with the kids or something. And babysitting was so much easier than I thought it would be because they just, like, I let them pour all their toys out on the living room floor and I poured myself a glass of wine and always made sure the bottle was within arm's reach. And I just watched them as they played. And my niece, when she was little, had this, like, toy kitchen set and she'd pretend to make dinner and everyone thought it was so cute. And I was like, that's a bit sexist. I was also furious when I discovered she couldn't actually make me dinner. And this one time, she looks at me and she hands me a cup and she says, Aunt Tori, I made you a margarita. My cup runneth over. Until I realized the cup was empty because we were playing, so I'd once again have to get up and make my own cocktail. I mean, why do you have kids? They're not good for anything. Jesus. And then finally, when the clock would strike 8, or how I would tell time when the 2 kids started to look like 4, you know, I'd tuck them into bed. And this one time, I tried to get them to sleep, but my niece, she was so curious. She kept asking me so many questions. Aunt Tori, why don't you have a husband like Mommy does? Or, Aunt Tori, why don't you have kids like Mommy does? Or, Aunt Tori, why do you wear your hair like that if you're still single? I thought, oh my God, this is my moment to, you know, impact her life in a way where this could change everything for her as a young girl. And so I looked at her and I said, the most important thing to do in life is to live your life the way you want it and not what society says you should do. And family is anywhere where there is love and care, and love can be shown in so many different ways. And a woman should never, ever feel obligated to center her life around husband and children if she doesn't want to. And I felt like I really made an impression. Her eyes got really big, and she looks up at me and says, Mommy says it's because you don't know any straight men. After we had exhausted all the questions about my personal life, they finally started to go to sleep, and I sang them to sleep with my favorite lullaby. Come home in the middle of the night, my mother says, when you gonna live your life right? Shh, close your eyes. Mama dear, when all the fortunate ones and girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. I'd like to think it was the lullaby that put them to sleep, but looking back, it was probably that Benadryl I gave them. and they were out. And as I watched them pass out, I would worry about their future, you know? When I think of my nieces and nephews, I do wonder. I wonder when they're my age, what will the world look like for them, you know? And I wonder when they're my age, will there be any more kindness and compassion left in the world? I wonder when they're my age, which one of these fuckers is gonna put me in a home? The phone rings in the middle of the night. My father says, what you gonna do with your life? Oh, daddy dear, you know you're still number one. But girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have an income. Speaking of income, do you know the word spinster? You know, right now it's used to describe an unmarried, childless, shriveled woman. But did you know what it initially was called, a spinster? A woman who used to spin yarn. It was just a word to describe a woman's occupation. So of course, a word used to describe a woman who was employed and therefore self-sufficient was turned into a derogatory word, right? To keep us in our place. That's all they really want. Some fun. When the working day is done, oh girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. I'm so disappointed in white women these days. I have to tell you. I really am. And listen, I have to check my own internal misogyny all the time. Like if I ever have a friend that tells me they're working with a woman who's difficult, I really challenge them and I ask them like, why are you calling her difficult and is it about me? But some of these women, it's so frustrating and I'm so exhausted by the stupid bathroom stuff. Like, come on. First of all, trans women are women. Let's just put that to the side. But also, more than that, even if you don't believe in that, even if you, for some reason, don't believe in it, if you call yourself a feminist, by not supporting trans women, we're doing horrible things for all women. Because that Megyn Kelly bitch, she wore this hat once recently that said, make women women again. And I know what she thought she was doing in her vile transphobic way, but she was doing so much more than that. Because when we start to really define what a woman is, we are gonna set ourselves back even further. Because eventually, it's not gonna be like, oh, you know, we can have trans women in the bathroom. It's like, no, 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 you are too masculine looking to be a woman. A woman shouldn't be that strong. A woman shouldn't be that, you know, aggressive. A woman should be more passive. And it just keeps us going back further and further. And it's like, it's so confusing to me because every woman's experience is different. My experience as a woman is different, as a woman that doesn't want to have kids is different from a woman who can't have kids. And my experience as a white woman is clearly different from the experience of a woman of color. And someone else's experience doesn't diminish yours, it expands it, you know? And if you or someone you know is still confused about why trans women shouldn't be in a bathroom because they're worried about getting assaulted, let them know they have something in common with the trans woman because she doesn't want to be assaulted by a man either. Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? This world is forcing me to hold your hand. Just a girl, oh little old me. Well, don't let me out of your sight. Oh, I'm just a girl, all pretty and petite. So don't let me have any rights. Oh, I've had it up to here. The moment that I step outside, so many reasons for me to run and hide. Can't do the little things I hold so dear. It's all the little things that I fear. I'm just a girl, I'd rather not be, 'cause they won't let me drive late at night. Oh, I'm just a girl, guess I'm some kind of freak, 'cause they all sit and stare would go through gender reassignment surgery to assault a woman in a bathroom when he can assault her whenever and wherever he wants and still have the majority of white women vote him in to be president. Some boys take a beautiful girl and they hide her away from the rest of the world. I want to be the one to walk in the sun, and girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have, they just want to, they just want to, they just want to, they just want to. I'm just a girl living in captivity. Your rule of thumb makes me worry so. I'm just a girl, what's my destiny? What has it come to is making me trust. Oh, I've had it up to, oh, I've had it up to, oh, I've had it up to here. Thank you. Sorry to get so dramatic. Thank you. Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. I'm sorry to get so dramatic. It's just that I had a birthday yesterday. Thanks. And my passport told me I'm well into my 40s now. I was so shocked I had to get myself a cup of tea. I couldn't believe it. And now I'm at that age, well, for casting directors, I'm at the age of female, 40 to 60. And I'm at the age where Instagram targeted ads are like, how to fix your wrinkles through face yoga. You know, it's wonderful aging in show business. And it's funny because I know every day's a gift, like blah, 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 but it's hard seeing that number go up, you know, but what's crazy is I've never felt younger than I do now, except for my toes in these heels. And the thing about getting older that I do love is that I've stopped giving a fuck what anyone else thinks. It's so incredible. Yeah. I am a proud, childless, Catwoman spinster, and I love it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take back the word spinster. So thank you for coming to this spinster show. Nate Buccieri on piano.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nate, thank you for playing this spinster show. Joe's Pub, thank you for having a spinster on your stage. Thank you to everyone who watched this spinster at home. It's been so thrilling, honestly. Listen, they're going to keep the bar open a little bit longer so I can see everyone. I'm not sure what I'll be drinking yet, but it's most likely going to be in a pint glass, because I'm British now. I know you wanted me to stay, but I can't ignore the crazy visions of me in LA. I've heard that there's a special place where boys and girls can all be queens every single day. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee, of Santa Monica. It's where it's calling me. You won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream, God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club, oh mama. I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club, because the night belongs to You think I've left you all behind. Still love you, my dear New York. You're always on my mind. And Mama, every Saturday I can hear your southern drawl 5,000 miles away. Thank God, look what you've done. You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club. Oh, Mama, I'm having such fun. On the stage in my heels is where I belong. Down at the Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. I'm gonna keep on dancing.
This is Tori Scott.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Seriously, this has been so overwhelming and wonderful, and I'm so very grateful for you all. Of course, I have one more song. If you're ever in London, please let me know. And if any of you have been texting me on my New York number, I no longer have it. I'm so sorry. I couldn't afford to keep it, so sorry I didn't respond. But it's so wonderful to see you all here tonight. It's made me feel so at home and so alive, and it's exactly what I needed. And listen, I know the next 4 years might be challenging, but I just think remember that we all have each other and we have this community. And if you do need a good immigration lawyer, I can give you some info. Thank you all so much. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you've got no one to tell them to. It's true. I was made for you. I climbed across the mountain tops, swam all across the ocean blue. I crossed over lines, I broke all the rules. Baby, I broke them all for you. Because even when I was flat broke, you made me feel like $1,000,000. You do. I was made for you. Nate Buccieri.
Love you.
You see the smile that's on my mouth. It's hiding the words that don't come out. All of my friends, they think I'm blessed. They don't know my head is a mess. No, they don't know who I really am, and they don't know what I've been through like you do. I was made for you. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything if you got no one to tell them to. It's true. I was made for you. Oh, yes, it's true that I was made for you. Good night.
The beautiful Tori Scott. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
When you think of all the things that I said to you, they wouldn't cut to the bone if they weren't true. Now you can keep them locked away inside.